Charlie's, Keith Richard, Love to Rosalie.
What do you reckon it's worth?
I don't know.
Anything?
To me, it's priceless.
I can tell.
I love the stone.
To me, it's worth about £600.
Wow. Oh, I wouldn't sell it, no. I wouldn't sell it.
On this lovely sunny day, your black vase looks rather funereal to me.
You're right, it does look a bit morbid, doesn't it? And I've got plans for it, you know. When my time's up, this is where I'm going to be.
In there?
Yeah, like a genie in a bottle.
Gosh. Well, I can think of worse places to end up.
I know, with a nice cork in the top,
Yeah.
so I don't spill.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, do you know what your funerary receptacle actually is?
Well, it's an urn, and I believe it's a Wedgwood jasperware urn.
Right.
I've seen another like it in the British Museum, made of glass, though.
Right.
So my guess is that this is a copy of an earlier glass funeral urn.
Okay, well, you're absolutely right. First of all, it is Wedgwood, and actually, if we look at it really closely, I think we can see just there, almost microscopic writing, it says Wedgwood. And it is a copy of the famous Portland vase, which is a cameo glass vase, so violet blue with a white layer of glass on top that's been carved. And the original is in the British Museum, as you say, and it's famous. It's one of the great national art treasures of our country. And originally it was an amphora shape, so when you look at it, it had a profile that continued down like that. And at some time, the bottom got chopped off, and another piece of cameo glass was put on the bottom.
That explains that, then.
Which explains this.
Yeah.
And this vase was owned by Sir William Hamilton. It had come from the Barberini family. It ended up as the property of the Duke of Portland, and hence the name, the Portland vase. And the Duke of Portland lent it to Josiah Wedgwood, who began a long process of quite arduous experiments to reproduce it in jasperware, or in this case, black basalt. And Wedgwood perfected his copy of the Portland vase in about 1790. So this is a pottery vase, and it's a reproduction of a famous Roman glass vase. So there was then a limited edition of these vases made, and those limited editions are amongst the most desirable and wonderful pieces of English pottery in existence. The question we have to ask ourselves is yours one of those early 18th century Wedgwood ones, or not? And looking at the base, there are some clues. So this part here on an original goes right up to the foot rim of the vase, but here there's a gap, and the elbow here it's complete, but on the original issue, the elbow is cut off at the bottom. So this tells me that yours is a 19th century copy.
Right.
But it's a slightly more interesting than most 19th century copy, because when you look at the figures, there's something rather naughty about them.
They're nude, aren't they?
They're nude.
Yes.
And, nudity didn't go down very well in 19th century England. And so the reproductions made later in the 19th century often had the naughty bits covered with appropriately placed drapery. And yours, they've left the naughty bits there for us to see.
Yeah.
It dates from about 1860, 1870. Where did you get it?
Oh, I bought it when I was a young man on a market stall. I paid about £400.
400.
Yeah, I was young and I hopefully had more sense than money, but I loved it. I loved it.
Well, these days I think it's worth £1,500.
Eh? Say it again.
£1,500.
1,500. Wow.
You're a clever boy.
That's really nice. That's really nice.
And I really hope you don't have to use it too soon.
No. Brilliant. Thank you very, very much indeed.
Thank you. Thank you.
So when you arrived, I saw you, first of all, pushing this almost wheelbarrow full of cardboard boxes. And then you started to undo the boxes, and there was this